I said to Chris Demm, we were in here 3 minutes before showtime, and I was sitting completely just as down as you can possibly get, just huddled, cold. This room is cold. I have a jacket on. My posture's slouched. And I said, boy, if anybody is watching this, they must think, what a loser. What a
middle-aged man slumped over in a windbreaker.
Yeah, really. It could be a painting.
Half glasses.
See, this is why I'm so on the cameras.
Yeah.
Because I think it ruins what people think.
That's right.
Is that, they think we're in here together, team, Chicago Bulls style, hands in. Let's have a great show. And in reality, it's just three men just sitting here watching a small clock count down till we have to talk.
Like when I was a kid, I can't tell you the images I had of the radio DJs. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when I think that they actually had bands in the radio stations, playing the music.
You weren't here. We had an email from a P1 Monday. I don't think you were here for this. And she said until she was 22 years old, she thought that when the radio played a song, let's say it was
More Than a Feeling Boston.
Okay, Boston. She thought Boston was in the studio playing, and then when the DJ did a little bit of patter over the next band, when let's say then Bon Jovi played, okay, that was as Boston was being shooed out of one end of the studio and Bon Jovi was sliding in. And that the coordination was amazing. God. And she didn't know until she got out of college.
22.
Yes.
What field did she go into?
I don't know. That's a good question. She didn't say, but she said she wanted to admit that to us as we were talking about music or something. And she said, literally, when she got out of college, somebody told her, no, that's not how it's done. And
they did in the 30s and 40s.
Right.
There were live orchestras.
Well, right. This woman, though, I don't think she's that old. But She said that literally she thought that the one band was leaving and one band was coming in. And then Dave's question was, did you think that Boston came back 2 hours later to play another song?
Play Rock and Roll Band.
Right. Did you think Bon Jovi was...
They just went out to lunch.
All right, come on. And did they hop from radio station to radio station?
Crosstown.
It's tough. That's tough. I mean, you might, when you're 7, you might think it.
Yeah. It's kind of a little magical box.
Yeah. When you get to it. But Biggie's right. People think it's the Chicago Bulls, and really it's just...
there's no hands in the center. We don't do the hands in and then...
No.
Yeah.
None of that.
3 on 3 team. 1, 2, 3 team.
Mostly it's just looking at papers and things like, Biggie, I can't find this.
Right.
Where is this?
That's right.
I told you to put this in.
I told Chris Demm I was watching local news here yesterday. Another team of local news personalities, and they do something here called the 425. And it's at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And I watch it a lot of times. It's not even the hard news of the 5 and 6 o'clock. It's a lot of...
It's a lighter presentation.
It's a lighter presentation. And they'll chat. They'll just banter sometimes, So yesterday, there's the lead anchor's name is Chad Silber. He's filling in. And, it's vacation time, so the main guy's out. And Eric Chilton is his name. He's out. But they've got a new weather person named Monique Robinson. And this lead anchor was talking about going to the coast, going to the beach. And Monique Robinson, the new weather person who's been there a couple of weeks, says, guess who'll be there tomorrow?
Exciting.
So I thought, okay, she's giving a little bit here. And I like her. My first impression of her is I like her. She's and she's like, and she was doing a little dance like, look, guess who's
the beach dance.
The coast. Yes. So Chad says, oh, Monique, what beach are you going to? And she goes, well, I'm not going to give you that information. That's private. That's private. I'm not going to disclose. Where I'm going to be, just that I'll be at the coast. That's all there is to it. Dave, he works local news. And what a trooper this guy is. They're having issues with staffing, people on vacation, people out. And he's working I didn't even realize this all week. He's been working the 11 o'clock and then coming in here. Okay? Let's give it up. Give it up for Dave Aiken now. He's doing a lot with this.
Can we do something special for him?
No,
I don't think it's... There's nothing I can think of really to do for him. But I'm impressed that he's doing that and coming in and working hard.
Are you impressed, or will you critique him if he in any way gives less here? Well, if his performance is a little off.
Or slips.
Yeah.
I noticed this week that we're saying things and he'll not catch them. And now he does that sometimes anyway.
Yeah.
But he's doing it more often this week. This explains it now. I thought he was drunk. I thought he'd been out drinking the night
That's
before.
your go-to. He's hungover.
If we'll say, for instance, a 25-year-old man in Maine had an encounter with a raccoon. Well, how old was he?
25.
And where?
Yeah.
Maine.
What kind of animal?
Raccoon.
Yeah, it's like a reading.
A lot of
It's like
that.
a comprehension test.
Now he's done it. He's done it before.
That's kind of his signature move.
That's his move. But this week there's been more. I don't know if anybody else has picked up. Now I know why. He's working.
Yeah, give him a little leeway.
I assumed he was drunk. I assumed he was out drinking the night before and was, hungover. No, it's because he's working until all hours, and that's what the problem. That's it right there. We have a Throwback Thursday game of Put Up or Shut Up Rock and Roll Trivia today. Chris Demm taking you on, and Biggie has already said, you missed this. He told me off air privately.
Yeah, I did not hear anything about this week's game.
This week's music is just so-so. This is a so-so era of the game.
Sharp-eared listeners will know what that means.
We'll know the decade. We don't love it.
I'd say female heavy.
Okay, female heavy. That's interesting.
You mean the artists?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Female heavy artists. And he says just a so-so era of the game. Mm-hmm. Okay, right. Now, on the Throwback Thursdays, we go back to a particular year, 1 week. We ask you the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100. A P1 listener says, and this was interesting to me, question. I didn't write his name down. I have no idea, but sent it in and said, you play Throwback Thursday every week. Here's a question for you. Your life is over, and for whatever reason, you're in hell. You're facing the devil. Okay. The devil begins to lay down the terms of the afterlife. You have to host a one-man radio show for the rest of time, forever. No one will ever hear this show, but you must play music for eternity. The devil feels generous and gives you a choice of any year of music you want to play, but from that year only, and you can never, ever go out of the year. What year would you take for eternity? I said 1984. I think Bruce Springsteen and Prince had great albums in 1984, and I'll take those. Music released in 1984, but I think Chris Demm would go into the 70s somewhere.
Probably.
78, 77?
66 is great.
66 is
I like 76.
What, Beatles have some stuff in 66?
Yeah, Beatles had Revolver, and Beach Boys had Pet Sounds, which
well, there you are.
They're two of my favorites of all time.
Biggie, you're more recent?
I don't know. I'd have to really have to dig in on that.
Mm-hmm. You're younger.
Yeah, but I'd probably go in the 80s. I wouldn't. 90s music, I don't think I'd move in. Maybe some early 90s.
How about now? 2000? No.
I mean, I was really into the music the year I graduated high school in 2001, but now I'd probably go back to the 80s.
A lot of 80s out there still. I told you, when I go to Wet and Wild, and I'm there quite often now.
Any return trips planned to the water park?
Yeah, she wanted to go Monday. My daughter. She wants one more shot at Daredevil Drop before the summer ends. So she wants to go back to the water park. But I'm telling you, when you walk around, there's music blasting from several speakers, and a lot of times it's 80s music. I got that question the other day about it was an 80s song, a couple of 80s songs.
The Hooters.
Yeah.
Hooters. And we danced. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And we danced. And I was standing knee deep in a wave pool, surrounded by children, listening to an old tin speaker out there, trying to hear it.
Shh. Telling them who it is.
Hooters.
Yeah,
Listen.
Hooters. A lot of
I think
80s.
that man has to see my Hooters.
A lot of 80s music being played out there. That's where I'd go is 84, and that's what I told him. But that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I was going to ask that after today's game. I'll ask Dave after today's game. He's certainly not listening now, man.
Oh, he'll him and haw on that.
Oh, God. Boy. You know how he does.
Yeah, it's hard for him to pin down a decision with a clear head.
Now we've got every year in the history of music, and you've got to choose from it.
Oh, and in 1 year?
1 year, and you've got to be in hell doing this. That's going to be a tough choice for Dave. He pointed this out yesterday, and it is making news now. Italian Americans are outraged by New York Governor Andrew Cuomo dismissing his behavior, which got him removed from office, as cultural. I'm Italian.
I'm Italian.
Hey, that's what I do. You all said
I
that.
like it to touch you the face. I like it to touch you the boobies.
What do you want from me?
I touch you the woman on the belly. Why?
Italian Americans said, don't lump us all in. That we're not doing that. Cuomo,
But it was not to interrupt your flow here, but I mean, remember when Cuomo made his defense when you showed the video last week of him kissing men, women, children, animals. I mean, it was disturbing.
Yeah, he kissed a lot. He did. He said in his resignation, I do hug, I do kiss people casually, women, men. I've done it all my life. It's who I've been since as long as I can remember. In my mind, I've never crossed the line with anyone. I'm Italian. I touch, I feel.
So sue me.
I put my arms around people. Italian Americans took to social media in droves to say, don't you use your Italian heritage to excuse what you have done. My Nana would have beaten you with a wooden spoon. And a lot of them are saying that. You know, I won't sit here and listen to it. You know, but and I haven't kept up with that story very much, except that I knew he was being removed. I anointed him as the next president of the United States.
Yeah.
Big time Kelly curse.
Yeah.
Big one. 6 months ago, I said this guy is going places.
Yeah, you wanted the Democrats to replace Biden on the ticket.
I said if Democrats had their wish, they would put him on the ticket and not Biden. And I believed that at the time. This a year ago, you know, I believed that.
And you know, it wasn't just the sexual harassment either. You know, he was counting like every other body at the nursing home.
That was the first.
Don't count him.
That was the first problem.
Tell you what, let's do 2 for 1.
Yeah, there was that. And then I asked, has he, other than being, you know, like he rubs his shoulder or he kisses a person, but I think there's more than that. Touching the breasts. People have said that he's.
I mean, unwanted touching, and then some of the commentary. I don't know all the details, but they said it was the hostile work environment.
That's right. He created a hostile work environment. I knew it had to be more than just.
We kind of briefly touched on. We thought, oh, was it just you know? But no, it winds up he did reach under a shirt.
That's the yeah. There was a woman here. Chris Demm will definitely remember. She was a little touchy feely, not horrible, but one time she came into our office. Chris Demm's back was turned. She started massaging his shoulders. And, you know, he doesn't care for anything like that. I always think of when something like this happened. I mean, she had no idea she was doing anything. You know, she just started massaging him.
Right. And I would imagine that that person at that time never thought anything about it.
No.
And if you asked the person, would unwanted touching in the workplace, is that a good thing or a bad thing? She would have said a bad
terrible thing, of course. She used to drink my Diet Cokes, too.
Right from the lip.
Right.
Yikes.
I never said anything about it, but I would... Imagine that. I would get a Diet Coke, sit it beside me, and she would come over and grab a swig and say, slurp it, and then put it back down.
That's disgusting.
And put it back down. And I never said anything, you know, but for years.
No, I did.
Yeah, Chris Demm finally said, ew.
Yeah, horrible. I'm not a toucher.
And then I said, you know.
You just took it.
Right. I just took it. Did
I ever meet this person?
Yeah. Very nice. Good friend. I really, really like her a lot. But that I didn't care.
Over the line.
It is over the line. You know,
have you seen?
Not even ask, and then go get somebody's diet and just take a slurp of it. You know, it's not right.
Well, I guess you know you just think of each other as family.
We were very close.
Bulls.
We're very,
all
very
for
close.
One
we're
for
like
all.
the Bulls. We're very, very close. You think Scottie Pippen ever just took Michael Jordan's Diet Coke?
Gatorade?
Slurper Gatorade.
No.
Yeah.